Well, we are live. Today, a new day, a rainy day. So we're here again with our live health Q&A with Virtuous Unicorn and myself. I'm Toni Weel. We've been doing this now, for 13 times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, almost. This is the 13th time.
Mm-hmm. Each one I learned something new.
Yeah, actually, of course I do too. That's the beauty of it. Now, I want to make sure that everyone can actually hear us, or everyone, people who are here. Yvonne, tell us, can you hear us? I don't seem to see anything here on my screen that it's actually working.
Yeah. Let me see.
Well, it says I have a good connection.
Okay.
But I don't get a message from Yvonne. She can hear us.
Let me see if I can hear. I'm going to go on mute for a moment. Yep, I can hear us. So I think we're good to go.
Okay. We had questions from Katie.
Okay. Love hearing from Katie.
It is about prescription medicine. What is the process recommended for getting off of these? That is something that I cannot advise on other than Google it and see what are the specifics. How do you titer off? How can you stop with it? It's different for every medication. The crazy thing is with these pharmaceuticals, when you stop, your problems can get a lot worse. And that is because it has been like masked your symptoms. So you really have to do that slow. But I had to dig in for this for some people, and I found that it really is different. And I cannot give any medical advice, and Google cannot either. But it gives you a lot of information on how to do it, what is the danger, and can you stop with something, cold turkey. It's I have done it with medication that I had after a heart attack, and I was actually put on Coumadin. It's rat poison. And I was warned to do it really slowly, so I did it slow. But within 2 weeks, it was gone, and I replaced it actually for me with what is called heart drops. They come actually from Dr. Schultz, and there is another one that has heart drops, and it is actually nothing more than hawthorn, cayenne, and garlic. So those are actually really medications. It's not food. I had a discussion about garlic with someone yesterday, and we talked about it, that it is, it's garlic is used so much as a food, and I like it. But even though we like the taste, we only should use it as a medication.
Yeah, it's definitely overused for sure.
It is, and it creates more sulfur in the body. It's not what we want. So
that would explain why you belch after having too much of it too. And I remember I'm belching up garlic. I just keep tasting garlic.
Yeah, the funny thing is I have this with bell peppers. And that was before I knew, and this is really funny, because I talk with people that work in the grocery section, and you would think they know a little bit about, what fruit and what, the produce is they have there. And they say that there is a different plant for a green, a red, and a yellow bell pepper, which is not the case. It starts out, I have a bell pepper here in my yard. It starts out green, and it ends as being ripe, and then it's at its sweetest, it is red. Now, in the Netherlands, they usually, when it came out, they only had the green bell peppers. That was, I was, as a child, I never even heard of bell peppers. That was later when I was an adult. But so yeah, we had the bell peppers, the green ones, and I was always belching with that. But not so much with the red ones. So here we go again, you only eat stuff that is ripe.
Yep.
So for everyone who loves bell peppers, red ones, please. And the yellow ones are not too bad, but the red ones are absolutely the best.
Yes. And I noticed too, like when you go to like a restaurant and you look at any of the vegetarian section, or now I'm starting to see more vegan section, it seems like almost everything is just loaded up with mushrooms, peppers, and onions. Yeah. And I've never been a fan of peppers, no matter what color they are. But I always just felt like during my transition time, it was like I never had any other options either. Like if you're vegetarian, it was either you just basically ate bread and cheese and rice and potatoes. And then you would have the option of the bell peppers and onions and mushrooms. And then as you become vegan, then it just is like bread and peppers and mushrooms. And now if you're frugivore, it's pretty hard to go out. I mean, you can't order like a little fruit plate, but it's definitely not going to be something to fill you up for sure.
This was actually a few weeks ago. And that was for me that I was like, yeah, I have to get back on fruit. So today is day 6 of my fruit juices. Awesome. That I was at, what is it called? Ruby Tuesday. They actually had the option at the salad bar for fruit.
Nice.
But yeah, well, it's, it's not organic and you don't know how it's washed, but heck, they had fruit. Mm-hmm. But that was more that you use it there because you can load up as much as you like. It's more meant for to have it after you have your greens. Mm. I have never seen anybody doing it before. And here we come again with the food combinations. If you want fruit and you have another meal, eat it before anything else, not after. Yes. But then it is sitting in your GI tract, it starts fermenting, and you can be, depends on, how your body is, I don't want to use the word like sick, whatever symptoms you have in your colon, in your stomach, you don't want it to ferment, you belch, you burp, you feel uncomfortable, and oh my gosh, how many times doesn't that happen to us?
Yeah, it does. And those are all signs that we're not listening to our body.
Yeah. Yeah, we do know it goes away. It's like you have a cooked meal and yeah, you feel tired and you feel bloated and thirsty and okay, 3-4 more hours, then it's gone. Yeah, It is, but that's not what it should be because you don't have that feeling when you eat fruit.
No, you don't. And prior, I can't remember, but Tums or antacids, almost everyone I know takes some form of that also. And it's so hard to look the other way and say anything or whatever. And I just always try to find my way to politely and kindly try to say something else, or if you have just this, you won't have that anymore. And I don't know. I was going to say, I can't even imagine, but I have dove down that of looking into what those actually really do to your body. And it's horrible.
I think it is not, sometimes it's not as much as what you add to your food. It's what you leave out. You have to leave out the foods that cause the problems. You always go to the cause, never to the treatments. And Tums and whatever you mentioned, it's always a treatment. Mm-hmm. And I know of people who have been doing that their whole lives.
Yes.
And I see so many, because I work with the health questionnaires, and I see so many coming in that have issues with digestion, acid reflux, heartburn, indigestion. And by the time that we talk, they already learn more about, you know, what not to eat. So by the time we talk and I ask about it, it's like, no, that went away when I stopped, you know, the pizza, or, you know, the very acidic cooked tomatoes on the pizza, and the grains, and of course, meat, dairy, and eggs. But once you leave that out, you know, the problem often solves itself. So it is so much easier than we think. And it's not like, oh, I take an herb because I have this or this, because that is not how herbs even work. Everything on your healing journey always starts with what you eat, or what you what you leave out. Yeah, what is left to eat.
The fruit. There's well, two things. Debbie says that bananas are giving her heartburn.
There is something with bananas, and I agree. Not that I got heartburn, but I got a very uncomfortable feeling. And then I learned that bananas, because they are picked very, very unripe, so they never have the best taste. But sometimes they get to the stores and they still very, very green. They spray it with something to ripen. So on the outside, it looks ripened, you know, yellow, little brown spots. So you think, well, that is a good one. And then you open it up and it's not even ripe. It's not even edible. And I had organic, these tiny, very sweet bananas. And they looked very ripened. But when they do that, when they spray them, they go from green to rotten. It's like there is not an in-between. So it's very hard to figure out what you should get. So even when you get your bananas and they looked ripened, look at the, well, call that the top of it, where they're connected to each other. If there is only a tiny bit of green left, it means that they have been chemically ripened.
Yes. And I also squeeze them too. So if they feel soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I do buy green, it's sometimes green, so because I only shop once a week, so I have enough for the whole week. But yeah, it's weird. It doesn't happen with all the bananas, and I don't know if it's the draw of the luck. I really don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that is the case with bananas. And these little ones, they were dry. I had one. Well, that was sweet, and another from another bunch, it was dry and hard, and threw it out. So yeah, that's how it goes with and it's with a lot of fruit. I mean, it's even with last year. Mangoes. The year before, I ate mangoes for months. They were absolutely from regular, you know, like here, the grocery store, the health food store. Didn't matter what I bought. Well, I did buy the organics, but they were all good. You have to pay attention on, you know, when to eat them. But last year, I didn't even have one good mango. So I bought, they only have 5 or 6, so I bought those, and I felt that one is edible today. But yeah, it is difficult, and I think with the from all the fruit, usually with the apples, you can almost not go wrong. Sometimes you see apples that look really great on the outside, and you start eating them and they're rotten on the inside. I haven't figured out what that is. Maybe they have been frozen or kept too cool, or what it is. I often see with deliveries that sometimes the fruit that should be in the cooling is staying outside the warehouse, you know, in the hot sun. It happens. So, but yeah, my food is mostly watermelon, and not even the organic ones, because I still can't get it. But this winter was the first time that I noticed there were watermelons all year around. There were even watermelons in the wintertime.
And it's very hard to find a watermelon with actual seeds in them. People I talk to say, yeah, they have seeds. I'm like, those are not seeds. Those are not what I'm referring to.
No, but yeah, that's what they say, seedless and seedless grapes. And I even had to resort to black seedless, not organic grapes. So it's
Yep.
like wash them well, see how you feel on it. And yeah, and it is true. Sometimes we don't notice the pesticide, and some people are, if you're highly acidic, like I was, then you definitely will feel, taste even, it burns in your mouth as well as they were washed. It still burns in my mouth. That tells me that yes, there is still pesticide or chemicals on it, but it also told me I'm still quite acidic.
Well,
But
that's a good thing to know.
yeah, it's and some people cannot even eat them. They get stomach pain. So when that happens, yeah, you go to the next fruit and see how you do. That is, even if you have a nice ripe banana, I can't imagine that it would hurt you, that it would cause you stomach pain. But always be careful and always listen to your body.
Absolutely. That's the
It's
number one, is listen to your body.
yeah. I said I was on 100% fruit juice, but I had some what is it? I had tomatoes and some lettuce and some other greens. What were the greens? Let me see: parsley, arugula, and cilantro. And I added some warm water and I made kind of a soup out of it. My body did not really agree with it.
It's like, nope, we're doing the fruit right now. What are you
doing? Yeah. You said you would do fruit, so stick to it.
Yep. Deborah does have a question about digestive enzymes. If you take them, which it says for a year, will your body quit making its own, I guess? Will you have trouble digesting?
I don't know. I mean, you're not supposed to take them because, your body can do its digestion. You've taken them for a year. Now you know more about how things work. You just stop. I mean, and then you see how things go. It's again, listen to your body. It's best thing is to transition slowly to mono fruit and see how you feel on it. We've been taking so many things. I mean, I was recently thinking, my God, I was the queen of supplements, and I thought I was doing great. I thought I was doing all that healthy stuff. Now, maybe half of it was herbs, but yeah, it was the enzymes, and it was the probiotics, the prebiotics, the oils with what is it?
Extra virgin olive oils and
that was not
oils.
what I was referring to. The 369 kind of thing. I forgot the name.
Oh, the omegas.
Oh yeah, the omegas. And I thought I figured it all out because otherwise I was going to be worse off. Well, when I was at my worst and I thought it can't get any worse, then that is when I met Dr. Morse. He was like, nope, no to the supplements. So I stopped the next day. I didn't feel different, actually. That when I started feeling better. But popping like 15, 18 pills 3 times a day, easy.
Yep.
And it cost you a ton of money because $500 a month was easily, and I would buy that before I would buy food. And yeah, it was it's crazy how that all happened. And if you think logically about this, it's like, how did humanity get to still be alive without all this stuff? Because this is all from the last 50, 60 years.
Exactly.
And we are made to believe we cannot live without it. We cannot digest without it. It's like, so we have a flawless body and we're still living on this earth. Amazing.
And the books that have been written about our timelines, they might be kind of one-sided too, and I guarantee you there's a lot left out of those books.
Of course.
Yeah. Like as far as how long we have lived, what we used to eat, like how do we make it, eons now, and we're still here, and yet just supplements are just in the last, what would you say, 50 years? Really?
Yeah, and you get more and more. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
it, they come up with other things that you have to have. So now everybody believes they are B12 deficient, D3 deficient, and you need to take this one together with the K2, otherwise you'll harm your body. And I was big on the calcium
Oh,
tablet
yeah.
because I hated milk. I didn't drink milk. So yeah, you have to drink the calcium, and then it was you have to do the calcium with the magnesium, otherwise, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Not even thinking 1 second about hurting my body. It was like, yeah, but they tell you you need it.
Yep. Yep. And all it is really just more ways for them to make more money, basically.
Yeah,
And no matter what, anyway, it's synthetic. So if your body does need something, get it from the sun, get it from the fresh air, get it from hugging a tree or walking barefoot, and get it from your fruits, because that's where our body would take it from.
yeah. I have something. I grow a few little things here, and I don't wash them. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think, there could be stuff in the air, but I'm like, okay, I breathe it in anyway.
Yes.
So so my little tomatoes and my other fruits, I don't wash them. I eat them as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because as kids we did that.
Yes.
You picked your blueberries and
Mulberries.
strawberries,
Mm-hmm.
mulberry. Well, we didn't have mulberries in the
Oh,
Netherlands, so I,
we
I didn't have
fortunately do.
them.
They're so
But
good.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember ever getting sick, by doing that. And apples, yeah, and even carrots, yeah, you get the dirt off, but that's about it. It's
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, we walked barefooted. We ate from the berries on the trees, the mulberries. We have so many mulberry trees where we live. And we would play in the river. We, just did everything. And I mean, everyone I kind of know has been a very healthy child. And then it's not until when we grow up and really settle into the, fast food, eating out at restaurants, sitting at jobs all the time, that kind of stuff. But they're coming up with all these supplements, all these medications to keep us alive longer, but we're not living longer. So to me, there's a very big difference between being alive and still living, and living. So living is, you still have vitality, you're able to get around, you're able to do things, and, you have your mind. Whereas they're keeping you alive. I mean, that could be from anything where you're literally on the bed and they're literally keeping you alive. So there's a big difference there for me on that, but I would
quality
rather
of
be living.
yeah, quality of life. I do
Mhm.
think I don't even believe that they keep us alive longer. That is what has been said. I think without all that stuff, we can live longer. I can absolutely not say I'm the healthiest person around, but I think it's a good thing that I barely ever took any pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
And I have seen people my age with arthritis, and I had it pretty bad. With all fruit, I don't have any pain. And it's slowly getting better. Like, and you can walk better, you can, your hands work better, you can lift more things. But I've seen people, what I said, like my age, and they are on all the known pharmaceuticals for arthritis. They are in assisted living. And they think that if they wouldn't take the medication, it would even be worse. Now, isn't it amazing that something so simple as just leaving out all the offending foods that got us in this place to start with, and off the pharmaceuticals in eating fruit could, have so much unbelievable progress in your body. it,
Absolutely.
it keeps it keeps amazing me, and it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, and I do resort to the wrong foods. It happens.
Mhm.
I recently read an article by Nora Lenz, an amazing woman who does a lot of things for animals and helping them heal. She has a website that's called oh my gosh, what is it called? It's about mono eating, rotational mono diet or something. She's on Facebook, but if you look up Nora Lenz, but she wrote a book or a long article about emotional eating. And it is quite interesting, and that we actually, in a way, we are all emotional eatings.
Mm-hmm.
But now, is that something that we were taught to, or do we start out as emotional eaters? I mean, look at children, how they eat. They're not emotional eaters.
No.
But sometimes I feel this is what we have been taught, you know, it's like for everything that you feel, from happiness to sadness to craziness, whatever feeling we have, there's food. You know, there's a food solution. There comes in the comfort food. I mean, 40 years ago, never heard of comfort food. Now we have comfort foods. And yes, I have the tendency to do that, to
Mm-hmm.
feel bad or feel great. You know, it just closed on a house, and it's like, oh, we need to celebrate that with
Yeah.
we're going out for a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It is always there. And so now, what is, are we brainwashed, or are we really emotional eaters? You know,
Mm-hmm.
is it just that feeling inside of us that if there is something that we feel, we have to eat certain things?
Yeah, like
Now,
celebrate it.
that feeling, because I had some yesterday and this morning, I'm dealing with, you know, website stuff, backend stuff, server stuff, quite frustrating. And yeah, I get frustrated with that. And but the amazing thing is I'm on all fruit now, beside that one green drink, is that I could handle it so much better, that I didn't have the feeling like, okay, now I have to, you know, I have to eat something and then I deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely gone. And that feeling we have that so many times, that you have to, well, I need to eat something first. I can't think straight.
Right.
You know, and that is, you don't have that on all fruit.
Mm-mm.
And
It's beautiful.
yeah, but that just confirms to me that this is where we need to be, that this is where we need to go.
Mhm. It's amazing that we can do our own experiments on ourselves and, truly make this our journey, and being aware of exactly how you're feeling, both mentally, spiritually, and even, physically, obviously, and just really going through this part. And I think that's very important on the journey, because if you're not experiencing those, then are you truly going to believe that that's how it really is?
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
it's like, how ready are you to experience this?
Mhm.
Because I think it's beautiful. And it be difficult? Oh, absolutely. You
Yep.
know, leaving all those things behind that you love. I mean, it's like with pizzas, I haven't had pizza now in years. In pastas, yeah, I had pastas, but made from all millet, so it shouldn't be that bad, but it's still cooked and it still makes me feel tired and bloated
Mhm.
and thirsty. So, you know, it's still in the range as no, better not foods. But
Mhm.
yeah, you have to test it out. And really, other people I talk to, many of them have been on a short fruit journey and tell me they felt so amazing. But
Mhm.
you know, you have to realize it is a lifestyle. I'm not saying that, oh, for the rest of your life you can only eat fruit. You know, you can add stuff to it. You may add like a handful, not a bag full of nuts, preferably soaked. And yes, I'm well aware that a soaked nut does not taste as good as a roasted nut, for for instance, especially those darn curry cashews. My God, they're so good.
Yes, cashews are pretty good. That's for sure.
Yeah, my husband and I sometimes have the things that we ate when we were still in the Netherlands, stuff that you can't even get here. And they say, you remember how good that was? And I'm like, yeah, and we never eat it again.
You know what, though? Sometimes, like, I'm remembering how good something was, and then I have it, and I'm like, because my taste buds are different now. And so when I eat it now, I'm like, that's not the same memory I have of it.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And so it sometimes, though, it can taste different too. And so you're like, or like salty stuff now. If anything's salty, I can barely eat it.
Yep.
And people are like, I barely put anything in there. And I'm like, barely for you or barely for someone like me? And to where I can't I have to refuse it because it's completely overpowering with salt.
Yeah, it's being said though that you can change your taste buds in, what was it, 7 days? I think for me it's a little bit longer, but it's this it really changes things.
It does.
Things don't taste as good as you remember it,
Mm-mm.
and then it's like, why am I eating it if I don't like it anymore? So nope.
And that's another thing too about emotion is, I mean, I do believe that we are programmed to be emotional eaters. Because if I remember back through everything in my life, which my family was never big on food. We didn't like over season anything. It was like it was just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You ate it. If you didn't like it, you didn't eat. So it was just, food was never like really a big part of our lives, I guess I should say, except for the holidays. The holidays, there was a lot of baking and stuff like that too. So if I'm very stressed out though, I can always remember, I'd be like, well, maybe I'll have like some chips or something like that. And that would kind of like, would it really settle me down, or would it just make me feel weighted down where I could actually like feel good inside or something like that, or take a temporary break, that kind of deal. But a lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm sad and depressed. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go get pizza or chocolate or candy bars and that kind of stuff. But it's tying an emotion to that. This is how I deal with my feelings inside, is through food. And I know a lot of people do deal with that. And again, it's something too that makes you feel good inside, especially some of the stuff you eat. It can be an endorphin release or something like that and make you actually feel good. And then your brain remembers that, hey, I ate this last time, I can get that same kind of feeling again. And since I'm feeling so down and depressed or frustrated, this will make me feel good. And even if it's only temporary, I mean, it's like a drug.
It is. And you don't want to remember how you felt afterwards. It's only that little 10 to 30 minutes that you felt great while eating it and enjoying it and looking forward to even eat it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other questions is still pretty far up. They do talk about that a nutritionalist actually told Regeneration Ranch to eat green bananas. And the only thing that comes to mind for me on that is, especially from a nutritionist, is they always say that green bananas have less sugar in them. So that was the only reason I know that they ever would recommend that. And of course, like if you wait until they're very ripe, or even kind of like sometimes, I mean, I like my bananas like pretty ripe. They're supposed to be loaded up with sugar. So that's the only reason I can think that a nutritionalist would say that. Do you have any other input on that?
No, that isn't exactly. They don't want us to eat what is good for us. And I can assure you, a green banana is not good for you. My God, it's even disgusting. It doesn't taste good. It has to taste, well, here we go. It has to taste good.
It should
I know. I know salty chips, they do taste good. So no, we don't go there. But yeah, with fruit, I mean, if you have to force yourself to eat a green banana because it has less sugar, no, you need the sugar. Gosh, they keep telling you you don't want that sugar, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't need the fat that goes with that sugar. And I can remember dealing with, my dad with the diabetes. They were like, the banana, do not have that banana, but make sure to eat your eggs. And I'm like, yes, if you eat that banana, of course your sugar is going to go up. You're going to blame it on the sugar, but it's not because of the banana. It's because of the fat that's in your system from the eggs, from the bologna, from, whatever else you're eating that's clogging it and not allowing the sugar to go somewhere. So please, get the fat out. Then when you eat that banana, nothing's going to happen to your sugar. It's not going to go up once the fat's out. And sure as crap. What do you know?
And as a should I say previous diabetic, I don't want to give myself that label, but my sugar was high, and yes, I had fat in my diet. And even thinking I was vegan and thinking I was eating, good, but I ate nuts and seeds and fruit, and my sugar skyrocketed. And you think you're doing the right thing, you eat fruit, but you also eat still the fats. And I could not get it under 100. And I was on all the fruit, including our favorite, not so favorite, avocado, high fat, and my blood sugar 150, 180, and when it's over 150, I get that jittery, unpleasant feeling inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I am on all fruit, then my blood sugar is 80, 82.
Yeah, that's
So,
nice.
and you can prove it to yourself over and over again.
And it only takes a short period of time to prove it. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was a long weekend this happened in, but again, I will say a word of caution. I am not a doctor. I'm not even I mean, I don't really have any faith in nutritionalists ever. So when someone says they're a nutritionist, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I'm literally just a person who's going on this journey. So definitely use precaution, especially if you're on insulin and medicines and stuff like that too. Make sure your doctor knows exactly what you're going to be doing, a fruit fast or whatever you want to call it, because your numbers can come down really quickly. um but it happens quickly, and as long as your doctors are on board and they know that they're going to be pulling your insulins back eventually and watching it, and you're going to be testing and monitoring, you'll see how fast it can come down and how quickly your numbers can change for the better.
Yeah, but we do know that it is extremely rare that any doctor will be on board. You have to be really strong to get into that office. And but if you want to, because I don't go to a doctor for blood testing, I do have a tester, and I don't need to test when I'm on all fruit. But I've been eating some other stuff. I'm just curious to see what it does in my body, and I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a diabetic, I know every diabetic has a tester at home. And even I work with people who are on insulin. I will never tell them, stop your insulin, but keep an eye on your numbers. When you're eating more fruit, when do you need your insulin? And you will see it going down. I'm not telling you not to go to a doctor, because especially when you are on insulin, you need to be monitored. It needs to be safe. So not stop that. But I had never used any insulin. The only time when I was with a broken leg in the hospital, they wanted to force insulin on me, because with the junk food they gave me there, and I couldn't even. This is already eight years ago, and I wanted fruit. Well, the fruit that they give you was loaded with sugar.
Yep. Oh
There
yeah.
is, though, in the hospital, there was no way, of eating healthy unless the food was being brought in. So that can't be
Mm-hmm.
done. But yeah, test it yourself, keep an eye on it. And if your doctor is not on board, and we know they are not, be
Most will.
strong, really be strong. You are your own doctor. You have, empower yourself with all the knowledge. And the more that you learn, the stronger that you are. And then that they don't know it. They don't know, what is the truth. And that is what we're trying to do. We bring out the truth.
Yeah.
So
And it's called a practice for a reason. I mean, they are practicing too. So, and they're only, I mean, doctors are great, like surgeons and things, putting your body back together after something really bad has happened, possibly. But I mean, there's even cases where your bones will grow back on their own. And technically, your bone does grow back on its own. They may just like set it and put it in place for you, but your body is still what heals yourself.
it
That's the other
is.
thing.
And that's a 24/7 machine. It's always working on healing.
Mm-hmm.
And on detoxing. That is what the body does. But we put such so much junk in it that it needs to get the junk out, instead of that it can really put that energy towards healing. And that is why eventually we get all these symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, when you get older, you get more symptoms. And if we say, yeah, okay, it is because we got older. No, it's because there's still more junk in it, and you keep putting junk in it. And the body at some point says, enough is enough.
Yep. It's
Here is your sign.
Yeah. Here is your sign.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we have to get to a few more
Yep.
questions, because I have one other one
Mhm.
from Katie. Is, are Epsom salt baths good for you? I thought they were, and I used it for years. And then Dr. Morse told me, nope, don't use Epsom salt. It's high in sulfur. You don't want that. Just go for Himalayan sea salt. So I know that you can buy that pink Himalayan sea salt. Don't ingest it. Just, have your salt bath with it. And use like a cup. I use like a cup, maybe a cup and a half in my bath. And you can buy that stuff rather cheap. It's actually cheaper than the what is it, Dr. Teal's Epsom salt soaking solutions with oh yeah, they have them with lavender in it. And in your bath, you can use a drop or two essential oils, so you can look into that and you can use that, and there you have your perfect soaking solution.
Nice.
And how often would you do it? I do it about once a week.
Okay.
It is detoxing. It depends on how much you need it. I don't know if it would be bad to do it too often. It's how do you feel afterwards? It's like we have a pool here in the community where I live, and it's a chlorinated pool. I don't go in there because I know it gets in my system and I don't want it. That together with all the chemicals that are being put in. I think that, yeah, salt, it is so weird because salt helps you detoxing. That means pulling things out. So there is still that question there that I cannot answer. Does the salt get in your body? That's a good one. I have to figure that one out.
Mm-hmm. I got a question about that too. Then for Epsom salt, we use a lot for like if you have like an infected hangnail, or like if you've been cut, people say do like an Epsom salt soak. A sprained ankle, you can even put like a poultice on it. Would that also work the same with the Himalayan sea salt?
I would think so, but I think, if for any thing like on the skin, I would like using baking soda.
Okay.
Would have the same effect. But yeah, Himalayan sea salt would have the same effect as the Epsom salt.
Mm-hmm.
I
Drawing
think.
it out.
I think I cannot claim this as a fact. So there is another important question and this is Katie is good with questions. And she was Charlie, Sarah, and you that would be me, have taught us about the dangers of dentistry. So now I am wondering, how does orthodontics affect us? I have had braces and so have my kids. Are we supposed to have crooked teeth? And what kind of harm does orthodontics herbs appliance cause to our body? Would you have an answer for that, Sarah? Because I don't. I am curious.
What was the last part of that? I'm
Well,
trying to find the question.
I'm not quite sure what she means. It's like, what kind of harm does an
The orthodontist. Okay.
orthodontics herbs appliance cause to our body? I think herbs needs to be another word.
Okay.
But it is like, how do orthodontics affect us?
That I don't know either, but I mean, they are going in and I'm sure they are hurting the tooth in some way because they're putting the metal on your teeth and everything like that too. I mean, the same with fillings and the removing of teeth when, some teeth shouldn't be removed. Just that kind of stuff, and just not really taking the whole body into account for your teeth and why they're that way. Just some of the other stuff I've read too. I mean, it's been just generations of stuff, like why we have teeth crowding and things like that has to do a lot with like what we eat and why our mouths aren't as wide as what they used to be and our teeth placement isn't. So, I mean, it could, go back onto that. But again, they're just trying to manipulate your teeth into what society thinks our teeth should look like in the first place. Extremely, sometimes weirdly white. Like, why should your teeth be that white? No spacing, no gaps. I mean, why do we have space and gaps? Just those kinds of things. So it's just, in some cases it's good. But then again, why is your tooth, kind of growing up in your face more? Like what kind of like really happened? Is it a deficiency of some sort? I mean, there can just be all kinds of things. So if you've already had it done in the past, I mean, there's nothing you can do then. Just try to eat your fruits and take care of your teeth and especially your gums. And a lot of times, I mean, we still have not seen a tooth grow back, at least in any of my research, but I don't know if we've been living long enough to see if our teeth do grow back and how long it really does take. But
I do know of people who had
yeah,
teeth growing back.
that's really good to hear.
Yeah, but now you bring up an interesting point, how is food related? When I was younger and even as a teenager, had all the teeth and they were going to stay, my teeth were not crooked at all. But over the years, my body got more acidic and my teeth got more crooked. And actually, the bite was always straight, teeth on teeth. And when I was at my worst, so you could say in an extreme acidic body, I got like an overbite. There was something changing in my jaw. So that is when your body is acidic, every normality is out the door. Yeah. You have to get away from that acidic body. That is the key in everything. Even in how, of course, in how you feel, but how you think, what you do. It's all about getting your body alkaline. I mean, even Charlie is constantly talking about it, and it's like it's your whole living. It's not only the food, it's everything in your life.
Absolutely.
And
your thoughts, everything, what you think about, what you focus on, everything.
What you do, how you handle with people, how it's always also, the ego part in left brain, right brain. I mean, there's so much to learn. I heard him say we need 1,000 years to learn everything. I don't have 1,000 years, I think.
Hopefully. We're hanging in there.
Yeah. Another question is about green tea. It's about me again. Green tea. I stopped drinking coffee and I found green tea. The stronger the better, the same as it was with coffee. Not realizing what an effect it could have on my body. First of all, it's highly in caffeine. And no, it doesn't do your body any good. I still have pounds of green tea sitting here, stuffed away in my cupboards, so I don't see it, and I haven't thrown it out. Isn't that bad?
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, are you doing it because you don't want to be wasteful? Or are you just hanging on to it for another reason?
Yeah, it is a good question. If you learn in your life, you cannot be wasteful. You don't throw out food. Even if something is an expiration date, well, if it's not rotten, it can be eaten. So
yeah, that's true. I was never a tea drinker, and not even sweet tea. I've never liked tea, and I've never been able to get it down. So
yeah. The funny thing was, the first time I flew to the United States, they were offering coffee and they were offering tea. Well, the coffee here back then, this is 81, the coffee looked like tea. You could see straight through it, and the tea looked like very, very strong coffee. So both were not drinkable. Yeah. But yeah, it is. I was looking for a word what tea does to your body, and I cannot. It doesn't pop up right now. But yeah, I have to, Katie, I'm sorry, I have to look that up. But I will send you the reasons. It's like it is. My God, that is the same as people that use the coffee enemas. It is something to the body. What is that word?
I mean, the caffeine, there's a lot of caffeine. Is it just too harsh on the body? Is it?
Yeah, but it's not just the caffeine. It is, well, it's not coming up right now. So we have to, I have to let this one go.
I don't know if you're kind of down far in the comments or not. I think I'm up still kind of high, but Lisa Lash is talking about menopause symptoms, wanting to know if they are the body detoxing. similar to PMS.
And I saw Deborah. She was, Deborah was actually talking about that. When she got on all astringent. No, there's another word, Deborah. It wasn't astringent, because astringent is pulling, and if it's pulling, it would be good. But it is taxing the body. But on menopause, did not have any symptom whatsoever. I didn't even think about menopause. I was in my 50s and didn't give it a second thought, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Never ever had any symptoms. I don't remember my mother have any symptoms, and I don't know why that was. We already learned that when you are on an alkaline diet, you won't have any symptoms. It is not normal to have symptoms. And I know the symptoms that people have are real. I have seen them. I have seen a lady in a store once who had hot flashes, and oh my gosh, I felt so sorry for her, and she was so miserable. But sometimes you wonder, we have been told to have certain things at a certain age, and then they happen. It's like when a doctor tells you you only have 4 weeks to live. Now you go with that thought, and now it's like, yeah, you die exactly after, at 4 weeks. It's a crazy thing. If your mind can do that to you, if it can be that strong, or if it is part of I think it is part of the acidity in our bodies. And the more acidic we are, the more problems we will have, even with the menopause. For me, I got menopause for me was in 2001. It was around the same time that I got these immigration vaccinations, that actually after that I got, the diabetes, the arthritis, the psoriasis. And but yeah, the menopause was, maybe I wasn't that acidic then. I don't know.
I know I've seen my mother go through the hot flashes, and those things that you can test, like how hot a grill is or how hot a fire is. So like, I guess they use them as thermometers now. I guess you can put them on your forehead. Yeah, I never take temperatures. So I don't even know what I'm talking about on those. But anyway, they were using that, and you could see that she was like physically more hot when she was having a hot flash. And I did feel like I felt terrible for her, but my goal is to, I don't want to say not go into menopause, but I want to see how long, I can, just keep my cycle and stay as that way without having any kind of symptoms or whatever of menopause. Or do we even truly know at what age we are even supposed to go into menopause? I mean, what if we don't go into menopause until we're like 100 or 300 years old?
Yeah, well, what if your puberty doesn't start until
I'm not even in puberty yet.
300 years old. I know Charlie talked about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not supposed to date till we're 300, remember?
Yeah.
So maybe puberty is around 200.
But this is actually, yeah, it's interesting because I also learned, and I think even Dr. Morse talked about that, and I believe Charlie did too. We are not even supposed to have that monthly cycle the way we have, because that monthly cycle is waste. So there is more to it, and I don't remember the details, so I can't really talk about that. No, but we do know that a lot of people who are detoxing, their cycle stops.
Yeah, that can definitely be true too.
There are so many things that we don't know yet, that we're just discovering, and realize everything that we've been lied about.
Yeah, which is everything since birth, and even our parents and whatnot too. And we're just here on this journey of discovery, and it's an amazing journey. And as long as you're doing it virtuously, meaning like be kind and just try to do everything from kindness, then it's an amazing journey. The other thing too, which might have got lost up there, JV was having night sweats. And I know JV's been on fruit.
That has to do with your kidneys. You can have night sweats when you're very acidic. You can have night sweats when you start on your fruit, or the first weeks. It can happen. It just means that your kidneys are taxed. You're not filtering, you're not moving your lymph, and it goes away.
Okay.
Keep going on the fruit. It will go away.
Okay.
But when you're, yeah, I don't like to be strict, but saying like, okay, you can only have fruit and nothing else, and then you're good to go, because it doesn't work for everybody. I mean, we all have different symptoms and are at a different level, so you have to figure out what is good for you, but not be afraid of it. Not be like, oh my God, now I have night sweats, and be worried. Worry is stress,
Yes.
and stress is acidic. So
Stresses.
don't go that route. If you have weird symptoms when you are on fruit and you know that you're doing the right thing, then embrace your symptoms. And that is why I've been setting up a website. It's called Fun with Detox. And it has to be fun. It does. If it is a drag, you're not going to heal. If you hate what you're doing, you're not going to heal. So, but I went from a depression and not really wanting to live, because everything was so bad. I could not see that light anymore, the light at the end of the tunnel. So that is where we get to the point, is that on the fruit, but I started with eating raw first, and then from raw was to more and more fruit, and leaving the veggies out and not cooking. I had not cooked for 7 months at some point. And leaving all the nuts and the seeds out, and then the fats out, and it was like you feel lighter, and you did see the light, and then you get to a point you can be the light. And I think that is a really big thing,
It is.
We now call it be the light. You can call it, oh, you're just an example for others, but it is not that example. It is that energy that people pick up on. And and even I got people on a farmer's market and asking me what I was doing. So I now finally have cards for my Fun with Detox website, and the
That's wonderful.
The website is not even finished yet.
That's really neat. So JV, make sure to test out, like pee in a glass jar and see if your kidneys are filtering. Then that would be interesting to hear about.
Yeah, it is. And I saw something that you actually, I haven't really followed the chat. But I did see something about that you mentioned that as an answer to Deborah, is a group that could be public for others to order the watermelon with seeds. This makes me think, because on the FreakSense website, afreaksense.com, we can have a forum, actually a group and a forum. What if we place there the links and whatever we can find to where we can find the best fruits? And that can be local. You can set up a forum where it's like, oh, in California or in Ohio or Pennsylvania, you can get this there. I think that would something I need to work on.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The more we can all connect with each other, the better too. And then because it's just the way we all help.
Yeah, there is a group in here in near I would say Sarasota, but that's Port Charlotte. And he has a farm, and you can connect with him and then ask him what he has and make an appointment, and you pick the whole load up. You pay him and you pick it all up. And they have you can get it tree ripened, or that it was picked a little before that, depending on how far you need to go. But 2 years ago I went there like once a month. And we should collect those links for local. I think we have to set it up with local options.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can do this globally. I mean, it's yeah, okay. Gotta think about this.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can call the group, the Garden of Eden.
Heck yeah. On here, I see Deborah McKinley. She said that she healed herself of liver cancer through raw vegan and juicing.
I saw that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And also that what was it? Something related to the liver is the Niacin does that you feel hot. It's like, yeah, it's like the hot flashes. That
Mm-hmm.
in a way, because I have used, of course, in my time of the supplements, I have used niacin, and you get these, oh, there's really hot feeling inside, and then it goes away. And that is related to the liver. And a few weeks ago, when I had some really spicy chips, not potato or corn, but what is it? They are made from cassava,
Okay.
baked in olive oil. Not healthy. It sounds healthy. It's not healthy. But I had that same feeling as when I was using the niacin. And so I knew the niacin is related to the liver. And so I had that same feeling. So I know that that spicy stuff also affects your liver.
Oh, okay. That's
I
something
didn't know that before. Now I know.
I didn't either.
Oh, yeah, flush. That is what it's called,
Oh,
JP.
okay.
Thank
Yep.
you.
When you get all
Thank
flushed.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, that is how we always learning.
And the other thing too, I've seen a lot of stuff about detox. Sometimes when you're in detox and you are not feeling well and you are just kind of just want to lay in bed and whatever, take the time you need for your body, especially if you have the ability to, meaning, you can rest or, things like that. That's always best what you can do. But try not to let yourself spiral on the symptoms or the feelings that you're having with those. If anything, write them down, sometimes get them out, go for a walk, talk while you go for a walk. I'm very big. I say it all the time. Talk to the trees when you go for a walk. The older, the better, especially a group of old trees. That's amazing. And you just want to get it out, but also try to embrace those feelings of detox, because those will help you heal on your journey too. Because sometimes detox is, you're getting it out, you're thanking it for the lesson that it has taught you, and then you're able to move on better. And then that way, if you ever start to go that way again, it's just part of that journey that you had to go through that maybe you'll remember, that'll help keep you on the straight and narrow path with all temptation around every corner.
Yeah, there is something to that. You mentioned that feeling tired when you are on all fruit, and then we think, oh, there's something with the diet because we feel so tired. The reason you feel so tired is your body telling you it wants to heal, it needs to
Mhm.
heal. So that's what you said too. When you can, and the moment you can, give into it. Don't try to fight it. So that is when you start your detoxing when you're ready for it. And that is when you do it slow, you won't really have that extreme feeling of tiredness, but then do it and start, to with the all fruit just before the weekend if you don't work in the weekend, so that you can let it, just let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dave does have a question. Dave Trails. I know he's on here all the time. We really appreciate you always tuning in, Dave, along with everyone else. We greatly love talking with everyone. But he talks about, are seeds good for us? I'm not really sure. Are you meaning that we should be eating the seeds, like the seeds in the fruit, or just fruit that actually has seed in it?
Yeah, isn't that something? I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
about that yesterday. I keep telling people, don't eat the seeds and the nuts. It's high fat, high proteins, and not helping you. But now look at the seeds that you eat. Well, apple seeds, if you eat one or two, okay, but we know they're not really food for us. Now, is the fruit with the seeds, are they better for us because they have the seeds and we know they're not manipulated with, or is it that the seeds are that we are supposed to eat them? I don't believe we are supposed to eat them.
I don't either. They're
I,
hard,
I don't I
and
don't think so. They don't
I mean,
even taste great. Maybe some, I do like sunflower seeds, but yeah,
mm-hmm.
it is an no, I don't. The seeds and the fruit, I don't eat the watermelon seeds. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
why would we not eat the watermelon and the apple seeds? But we do want to eat all the other pumpkin seeds. You can buy pumpkin seeds and sunflower and whatever other seeds. I think that if you look at nature, no, it's not meant for us. It's meant for the birds.
Mhm.
And it's meant for, new fruits, new trees, new bushes, new whatever, new plants.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's another thing, the rebounder. I love the rebounder? Did I love the rebounder? Don't
Mhm.
use it when your kidneys are not filtering,
Right.
because it cost me a long time of, well, pain before I knew anything about that. And I thought I was getting rid of the pain in my legs by constantly using the rebounder, not realizing I kept the problem. I was just keeping the problem and making it worse by doing it. If the lymph cannot go anywhere, if it cannot go out, then it stagnates. And for me, it was in my legs. I got, it's known that people got cysts, or that people had tumors that were actually growing instead of getting less. You
Mhm.
have to be careful with that. Rebounder is a great thing. At any time, walking is better.
Mhm. Oh,
But
I'm
yeah,
a big fan of always walk. I mean,
yeah,
just
when your kidneys are filtering, even, a little bit, it will be more. Than still go slow with the rebounder.
mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think walking is the best. I think that's what we're built for. And then, kind of like running and playing, or, just that kind of stuff. I mean, really just enjoying life. Stretching is great, things like that. But I am not a fan of lifting weights, working out in that kind of way. I never enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just don't think our bodies are built for that anyway, even though we can do it. I just don't think,
No,
yeah.
I think we talked about that last time. It's like people
Hmm.
go to the gym in their car, park it as close as possible, and then go crazy with moving and not
Yeah.
not having to walk. And
Yeah.
then they go on one of these, what do you call that? Those walking things?
Yeah. Treadmill.
Treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there are so many, you exercise when you're doing your daily things, but we all got these sitting jobs. So yeah, I can see
Uh,
where you feel
yeah.
you just have to do something.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes walking is not enough, but
Yeah.
just be careful.
I see another JV says they jump for 10 minutes in the rising. Definitely check your kidneys. Make sure that you are filtering, especially if you are having those night sweats, like Toni said. If it is your kidneys, we want to make sure that those are really doing well.
Okay, I see sorry to
You're fine. I was
to
gonna
cut
say,
you off.
no, I know we're at the end, so I feel like now I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this.
It's like, yeah, there's always so much to talk about and so many questions. It is like, where do chia seeds fit into the mix?
Yep.
Well, I thought they were really good because they tell us they have all the essential amino acids. What was it? Was it amino acid, or was it something
And
else?
I think of the
It was
omegas. Yeah.
something essential that we need. Well, that word essential is actually quite new to use it with food. We have essential this and essential that BS. The body knows what to make. Chia seeds, yeah, of course, I've used them. I baked the most baked with a D, the most amazing bread using quinoa and seeds and chia seeds in water and a little baking soda, and I added dried fruit, and before that I even added nuts and seeds to it, and you have this most delicious gluten-free healthy bread. I haven't made it in years, knowing what I know. So no, I don't use the chia seeds anymore. But think of this. Take a teaspoon. I don't even want to tell you take a tablespoon. Take a teaspoon with chia seed. Put it in your mouth. What's going to happen?
Mhm.
Do you like it? Does it taste good?
Nope.
Do you feel that you can make actually a meal out of it? They say if you cannot make a meal out of it, it's not food meant for us.
Mm-mm.
So in a way, yeah, probably you would you would fill up your stomach, but getting it out of your mouth, that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets bigger if it's raw and you don't soak it. It gets bigger, I think 5 times the size or something like that. You can only imagine what it further does in your body. It's like glue. That is why it was so good using it in bread, because it is like a glue. It keeps things together. I don't want it in my body anymore.
Mm-mm. No.
So no. There was another thing that I think I saw Michael say about clay crystals and zeolites. I think that zeolite is clay. It's not a food, and yeah, I wouldn't do it. I don't use it. I know you can, very limiting use with a detox. And I am looking at what we are using, the GI broom with Dr. Morse, to really clean out your GI tract. And it does not have that in it, but it does have bentonite clay in it. But it is very, very, very little. And I heard Dr. Morse once say that clay, you put it on your skin, great. But ingesting it, don't. So there's always something with whatever products, with whatever you want to take in. It's like, keep it simple. If you talk to Dr. Morse, he will tell you concept: fruit, berries, and melons. That's all you need: fruit, berries, and melons.
Yep. Is that hard to maintain though? Just that only? Absolutely. Yeah. But is it where we should be? Yes.
Well, thank you, Debbie, for saying that you learned so much from us. We can actually keep learning from your questions, because sometimes we have to question things like, how the heck does that work? But when you talk about it and then, you discuss it, you actually start thinking more about how things work. And that is, that's how we learn. It's like, how logic are certain things. Yeah, Michael, cilantro is great. Charcoal, no, yeah, well, not every day, and maybe for a month if you use it together with, like, let me tell you what is in the GI broom. We are already over time, so I might as well. What we use for the GI broom is psyllium husk powder, chickweed herb, cascara sagrada bark, plantain leaf, slippery elm bark, marshmallow root, fenugreek seed, white oak bark, Irish moss, bayberry root, mullein leaf, bentonite clay, activated charcoal, ginger root, aloe vera, 100:1, cinnamon, and acerola cherry powder. Now you see that the activated charcoal is one of the last ones that he mentioned. With this stuff, you take about 6 capsules per serving. Usually you do it one a day. If you want to, do it a little bit more and you're well hydrated, then you can do twice a day, but you only do this for a month. Now, I see people that take the cilantro and all the other things forever, for months, for years. It's like, yeah, but that's part of my detox. It doesn't work that way. It's not a treatment that we want to use. We want to heal. And once you clean out your GI tract the correct way, and I mentioned the correct way because this has like plantain leaf and slippery elm bark and the fenugreek seed in it, that will help you clean out the GI tract, that makes it going smooth. So there's always more for it. And yeah, the heavy metals, they come out with your detox. So here you go again with, see, if you would use these things like cilantro and charcoal, and you take that, but you're not on an all fruit diet, and you take that stuff, so your kidneys are not filtering yet. And so where are the toxins going to go? Are they going to stick around? Are they going to be somewhere else in your body? Yeah, we have heavy metals in our brain and everywhere in the body, and I have done the cilantro stuff for years in a smoothie, hated the cilantro. Now I kind of got used to it. But I only use it as an herb actually in salsa, you know, or a dressing for a salad that I make for my husband. That is cilantro, tomato, and Italian herbs and lemon. You know, make a mix of that in the food processor. Not doing it every day. I don't see the benefits of it. And everybody talks about, oh, I have all these heavy metals in me. Just go the same slow way in your detox and get your kidneys filtering and get to the all raw and the mostly fruit, and you start detoxing it out. Now, I will always suggest using the herbs that Dr. Morse puts together. He knows what he's doing, and he has the best of the best. But there is another brand that, don't overlook it. It's from, I think it's Christopher's. You can find that on Amazon. And actually, Dr. Schulz has pretty good stuff too, because that is where I started with like 8-9 years ago with using these things to detox. But that is maybe 3 weeks. So don't do that for too long. Of course, now I'm all with Dr. Morse. I like his stuff. It's gentle. And we want to be nice to the body, you know. So I see it as a gentle detox.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on board with that too. Dr. Morse, it's, you know, it's kind of like the top of the pyramid there. I mean, we've gotten all the way to the top to find someone that we feel knows what's going on at this point. And everything I've been listening to and everything, it's just like it clicks with everything I know. And I feel it, like I feel it in my spirit, that I feel like it's the truth also. So that's the way I always try to judge things and people and subjects I'm listening to and talking about is, does it feel right with me, both in my heart, my mind, and my spirit? And that's how I feel everything when I do listen to him. And same thing with Toni.
Oh my God, Michael, you're not. Next time, send those things to us in email, please.
Yes, or join us for a call. Anyone that would like to join the conversation.
The MMS. I learned about MMS probably 7-8 years ago. And think about this one. If everybody is raving about it, should you go for it and follow the mass, or should you take a step back and think about what it actually is? And people are raving about it because they say, and this is especially in the first 2 weeks, oh my gosh, I feel so great, and this is happening. Of course, something is changing in your body. So yeah, you may feel better. Talk to them after 3 months.
Is it on the number one best-selling list?
I have done it, and I did it exactly. And I had this whole list on how you have to do it because I was desperate to heal. I was really desperate. And even the tiniest little bit that what you start with, it was hurting my stomach. If you take something and it hurts you, what is your body telling you? Now, okay, now you can, maybe it doesn't hurt you and you keep taking it, and the amount that you take, you have to build that up slowly. And it is crazy to do. You know what that stuff is great for? To clean water. They have shown they could use it in a very dirty pond, and they put that stuff in there, and it cleared up overnight. Well, maybe it was longer than overnight. It's years since I saw that. So the MMS is, it is chlorine dioxide. It's like, no, I don't take it. And Dr. Morse is like, how crazy can you be? I mean, why would you put that in your body? Why do people even come up with that? And then MMS started also out with selling, I think it was like through an MLM company. And you know what happens? People need to make money. You know, they pay for it. They need to make money. Of course, there are raving reviews. They have to be. I was involved in MLM companies, quite a few of them, 20 years ago, before I knew better. And it's like, the more people talk about how great it is, turn around, don't do it. stay with your own logic. There is that other thing that is what was that called? Oh, we've talked about it quite a few times, and it's actually plant food. It's not people food, it's plant food. I forgot the name now. And also MLM company, and great, absolutely great. We all should take it. It does this to the body, and it detox, and etc. etc. No, you cannot take a shortcut. There's in nature, you don't take shortcuts. It is what it needs to be in nature. So it is food for a plant. It's normal. It is in the soil. That is the food. So now they got it out of the soil in one particular area where it was really great and very pure. And they have these beautiful pictures. So now they harvested that, goes to the lab, and they get out. So you can use it in pill form or whatever they made it. And so now people can take it. Now that plant is taken out. So what happens to you eating that plant? And believe me, plants are kind of overrated as being healthy food for us because they're hard to digest. There's a reason for that. They're not really meant for us. So there you go. If it's made in a lab, if it has to go through a lab, if they have to isolate, parts of it, it is foreign substance to the body. It's isolated chemistry. So, always figure out, what is the source and how logic is it that they try to bypass a plant, because if it's good for a plant and we eat the plant, must be good for us. That logic is beyond me, really.
That's the same logic as, oh, we need protein. So, or we need the minerals and everything. So we're going to go kill the cow that ate the grass that had the stuff in it to eat the cow that
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna end this at 1:21 p.m.
so
Eastern
much.
Time. We had fun. We're gonna have fun again.
Absolutely. We so look forward to these shows. And Toni, you're such a wealth of gnosis and all of your generous time you spend with us. We just love you so much, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Sarah. You always help me with getting things straight.
Thank you. We're here to help each other. And thank you all so much in the chat. It's been so fun. The more the merrier, and we just love all your personalities and reading your questions and comments too.
Yeah, and another thing that I have in the works, or actually already set it up, is actually a help Q&A on afreaksenseworld.com. It is in the groups, in the forums, and you can ask questions there, and I can answer them there. So this is just an extra thing that we want to do. So I thank you, Michael. No to end. Yeah, we're gonna end it. Thanks, everyone. We love you all. And till next week, and looking forward to it already.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.